Hello everyone, Paul here at RoJoBe Music. So today is Saturday the 19th of February 2022 and this is the first video I've made and uploaded for over 2 months actually, since before Christmas last year. I've been really busy with the teaching and various other things, but not really had any musical instrument projects on the go, so that's why I've not been uploading any videos lately. But it's getting busy again. I've had a couple of guitars brought into me by customers for various bits of work, and one of them was brought into me today by a young girl about 15 or 16 with this Yamaha F310 acoustic guitar. And it's only in for a restring. Now, this Yamaha F310 guitar, they're inexpensive, they're entry level, but they are good guitars. They set up well, they play well, and they sound really good. And they're, you know, really easy and good to play. So they're good for beginners, intermediate, and even, you know, advanced players, because they play really well. I've actually got 5 of this model for sale in my shop, so they can't be all that bad if I stock them, because you know, I tend to, you know, be quite fussy about what I stock in my shop. So this is just in for a restring. Now I've already removed the old strings. The high E string was missing anyway, and the rest of the strings were just old and grubby and probably not sounding too good. The guitar overall is in great shape. I've no idea how long the girl's had it, but it's in really good condition. No cracks or anything on the body anywhere. There's a few little scratches and dings here and there, but it's obviously a used guitar. The tuners all seem to be in really good shape. They're nice and smooth. They all turn properly, and there's no problems there. So I don't need to do any work on that. As I said, it literally is just a restring. I've taken off the old strings, and I've also cleaned up the frets because they were a bit grimy. Just using an abrasive sponge pad, just going over all the frets, and cleaned up the fretboard as well. Now the fretboard is in excellent shape. There's no nicks or fingernail gouges or anything like that in there. It's in perfect condition. Now when it came in, I checked it before I took the strings off, and the action was really low. I mean, I work in metric, so the bass string was probably barely 2 mil above the 12th fret. And the well, I didn't have an E string on it, so the B string was about 1.5 mil above the 12th fret, so really low action. Maybe that's how the girl likes to play it. But I also noticed that the neck was just slightly bowed backwards, had a slight back bow on it. Now, again, I did check it, and I couldn't find any buzzing, which I thought was, you know, unusual considering how low the action was, and a little bit of back bow on the neck. There wasn't any buzzing at all, so that gives you an indication of how good these guitars are. So I have adjusted the neck slightly, so that now it's actually dead straight. Let me just put my glasses on and double check. So the neck now is dead straight with just maybe the slightest hint of underbow, which is what you want. Really, you want it as straight as possible, but if anything, a very slight underbow. Now, when I put the strings on and get them all up to tension, that underbow might be a bit too much, and I may need to adjust it again, but that's not a problem. So, I've cleaned up all the frets, cleaned the fretboard itself, and I've given the fretboard and the bridge a coating of boiled linseed oil. Now this particular brand is Barterline. I'm not sure exactly where they're from. I'm quite happy with this. I'm not in any affiliation at all with this company. They don't sponsor me or anything like that, but seems to be a pretty good brand. Seems to do what it's supposed to do, and it lasts. I always used to use lemon oil on fretboards, but after reading quite a few reviews, apparently that's not a good idea. So I don't use that anymore. I always use boiled linseed oil now, and it's great stuff. So let's get the new strings on. So the strings that were on it were pretty light gauge, which you would expect with such low action, because if you had a medium to heavy gauge on there, you probably would get buzzing. So the strings I'm going to be putting on are these, I say D'Addario, probably wrong, don't care, and these are 11 to 52s. If anything, probably a slightly heavier gauge than the strings that were on it, but I don't want to put a super light gauge set on there, so these are lights. These should be just fine for this application. So let's get into it. Let's bring you down to a level where you can see. Let me just raise that up. Okay. Hold on, bear with me a second. Oops. Okay, I'm just extending the tripod up a bit. That's better. Okay. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so I've already got the pins and the saddle in my little block. I put them in this order so they go back in the same order. It shouldn't make a difference, but if there is a slight difference, you know, in thicknesses or the shape of some of the bridge pins, then putting them back in the same holes is always the best idea. So this is a brand new set of strings. Okay. Alright, it's going to be like that, is it? Not in separate bags, just all in one bag. That's fine. Okay, so they're all colour coded. Just makes life a little bit easier. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to put the saddle in the slot first of all. Okay, that's quite, you see, that's set quite low, that saddle. I don't know how well you can see that, but that's pretty low. But that's clearly how the girl likes it, so that's how it will stay. Okay, so I'm going to start with the low E string, which is, let me see, the brass coloured one. Okay. Right, let's just unravel these. Okay. So what I tend to do first of all is I take the end of the string and just give it a bit of a bend, like that. Okay. Then, let's see. Okay, so get the bridge pin. Now, I always like to see the bridge pins, oh well, where are you? With a bevel on the end. You see that? So there's an angle cut into the end of that pin. So that means when the ball end of the string, it won't sit on the end there, it will slide up to where it's supposed to be near the top. Okay, so put the string in the hole, bridge pin in. And I always like to make sure that string has gone up to the top, the ball end of it. Okay, that seems good. Okay. Now, for the other end, what I do is, let me just bring you in a bit. Whoops. Okay. So I tend to bring the string up to the inside of the tuning peg, pull it taut, and then wrap around 1.5 times. So coming from the inside and wrapping around the outside. So 1.5 turns around the peg, through the hole, whoops, through the hole. Okay, then pull it taut. Okay, so now the string's loose, but it won't take many turns to bring that up to tension. So that's why I do it that way. Okay, so 4 or 5 turns and that's starting to get up to tension. Okay, so string number 5, red. Okay, so a bit of a bend in the end there. Bridge pin. Don't need to see what I'm doing at the bottom end here. Same thing again. Okay. And then again, bring the string taut up to the inside of the peg. Around 1.5 turns. Find the hole. There we go. Through the hole. And pull it taut. Okay. And then tighten it up. Okay, there we go. Okay, string number 4, which is black. How are we doing for time? We've got lots of time. Good. Okay. Just double check. Black. Okay. Put a bend in there. Bridge pin. Okay. Once again. Now, because the strings are starting to get thinner, I might wrap around a little bit more. So let's go 1, 2. So 2 wraps and then through the hole, he says. Okay, there we go. Pull it taut. Okay. And tension that up, out of the way. Okay, so that's the bass strings on. Now when I put on the treble strings, I'll start from string 1 and then again work through into the middle. It's just easier for the positioning of the tuning pegs. If I started up here, did this one first, it would be more awkward to do this one and then this one. So I go from the outside in on both sides. Okay, so string number 1 is silver. Here we go. Right, string number 1, silver. Okay, so the same thing again, put a bend in the end, get the bridge pin secured in the hole, in the bridge. Okay, now this is the thinnest string, so I will tend to wrap around 1, 2, and a half, 2.5 times. Sometimes I'll go 3. Okay, same thing again, pull it taut and tension it up. Okay, string number 2 is purple. Okay, put a bend in there, bridge pin into the bridge. Okay, pull it taut and then 1, 2.5 times around the post through the hole and pull it taut. Tension it up. Okay, and the last string, let's just check It should be green, and it is. String number 3. Make sure the pegs are straight, which it is. Okay, so I'll probably just go around twice with this one. 1, 2, and then through the hole. Pull it taut, and tension it up. So one thing I didn't mention is when I wrap the strings around the post, each wrap comes up higher, comes above the wrap before, so that when you tension the strings, it then goes down the post. Because you want the strings, as they wrap around the post, to get lower and lower. Because if they came up to the top, then you'd get much more pressure pulling the tuning post this way. So you want the string to go down as you tune it, not up. Okay, so all the strings are on. I'll leave the ends for now, just in case I get any problems. But I point them all upwards. And get my trusty old tuner and start to tune it up. Now, when I tune a freshly strung guitar or any other instrument, I will start with the inner 2 strings, get them probably 1 step below where they should be tuned to. Then I'll go to, so that's strings 3 and 4. Then I'll go to 2 and 5, and then 1 and 6. You don't want to go from one side to the other either way, because you want to keep the tension quite even, just to avoid any problems at all. So I'm not going to record me actually tuning this up, because I'm sure most of you will know how to tune a guitar. Not really that much to it. So I will pause it now, and I will bring you back when it's up to the correct tuning, and we'll see how it's all looking then. So for you, it's going to be a mere second. For me, who knows? Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so she's all finished, strung up, tuned up. I've checked the action, where I put the just slightest hint of underbow in the neck, which again I've checked, and it seems to be absolutely perfect. There's just the very slightest hint of underbow, which is what you want. And it's raised the action slightly to what I consider to be optimum. So I've got the bass E at about 2.75 millimeters and the treble E at about 1.75 millimeters. So still pretty low, but that's what I consider to be just about perfect for an acoustic guitar. And as I said, these Yamahas, they play really, really well. I've checked all of the strings all the way up the fretboard. There's no buzzing. It's staying in tune. Obviously the strings will stretch out a little bit. They'll need to be retuned a few times, but it's all finished. So that was a quick and dirty job, just a restring and just clean up all the frets and the fretboard and oil the fretboard and the bridge. And yeah, job's done. So all that remains now is to give the customer a call to come and pick up her guitar. So that's the end of that project. Now I will be making and uploading another video in the next couple of days. I've got another project, a customer brought this in to me today as well. It's another Yamaha. It's a slightly different model, but pretty much the same kind of guitar. Now this one requires a bit more work. It's basically a light overhaul, if you like, or refurbishment. I'll go into more detail when I do the video, but as I said, it's another Yamaha, quite a bit older than that one I've just restrung, and as I said, needs a little bit more work. It's going to be quite an interesting project, this one, so I'll definitely be recording this one and uploading it in the next few days. Quite looking forward to getting into this one. Really looking forward to it actually. Haven't done anything like this for a while, so really looking forward to this little project, which will be up and coming in the next video. So I really hope you enjoyed this video of the restring of this Yamaha F310 acoustic guitar. If you did like it, please give a thumbs up, share, comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Okay, so in the meantime, peace out.